Hello again everybody, this is Gusto, and today I'm going to be reviewing an Indonesian 24-hour ration pack, and specifically the T2-PJ, which is a lightweight freeze-dried ration. It weighs in at 2 pounds 9 ounces, and supplies between 3,500 and 4,000 calories. Each of the main items in here is freeze-dried, which appeals to me because the freeze-dried items tend to be my favorite. Let's take a look at the box. It is fairly nondescript, really just has this symbol on the front. It has some instructions, the packaging date being 2016 and the expiration date being June 2017. Other than that, it is a featureless box. So let's take a look at what's inside. It does have a peel strip on it. It should open the box fairly easily. So there's what it looks like inside, and we'll take a look at the individual items. The first item out of the box was a package of seafood laksa. I'm guessing on the pronunciation it's probably wrong, but this is a spicy seafood noodle soup. You can see some of the contents in there. Next is a package of Nasi Hudak with chicken. There you can see the contents. And that is a rice dish with coconut milk. Next, a package of rice curry with meat. Not sure what kind of meat, I couldn't find any ingredients on here. And lastly, savory fish with rice. It also comes with an accessory pack, and we'll get into that in just a second. And also a stove with fuel tablets and matches. As for the accessory pack, it contains 2 vitamin mineral beverages. It also contains 2 of these beverage mixes, and these are different. They're numbered 3 and number 4, so we'll find out what those are. It also contains 6 inner tabs. There's what those look like. They just kind of look like survival biscuits. There was also another smaller accessory pack inside there, and we'll take a look at that. Yeah, and this is the utensils and the napkins. So there's some toothpicks. There's the spoon and fork. It's rather interesting. And a couple of napkins. So there you have the contents of the T2-PJ, and this is menu number 3. I saw that Gundog recently reviewed a T2-PJ as well, but I think it was menu number 4. So certainly check that one out, and you can kind of see some variation between the 2 menus. And the T2-PJ specifically is a pretty difficult ration to find. You can find the traditional canned item Indonesian rations a little bit easier, but the freeze-dried ones tend to be pretty rare in the United States. And as you can see on the packages, it does have a calorie count on these. You can see on this package, if you add it up, just these 4 packages here total over 3,000 calories. So very substantial food items there. And what I'll do for this review is I'm going to break this up into 4 segments. And we'll start with the seafood laksa for the first meal. And actually I just realized a mistake on my beverages. These are different actually. I said that these were the same thing, but this is actually 2 different types of drinks. And from what I can tell, this is a hot beverage and this is a cold beverage. The other 2 beverages are also supposed to be prepared hot. So for the first meal, I'm going to prepare the seafood soup. This beverage, the Mincal beverage, I'm sure I'm pronouncing that incorrectly, and we'll try one of the inner tabs as well. So let's take a look at this bag. There you can see the energy contents being 500 calories. The directions show setting this aside for 15 minutes after adding water. There's the fill line right there. Go ahead and open this up. There's the soup. There's also a flavor pack to be added to this after it's rehydrated. So I'm going to empty the contents of the soup bag into the main container here. Unfortunately, there's not any ingredients listed on this package, but from what I understand, this does contain shrimp and fish. And it does have a pretty fishy smell. So there you go. Now we'll add water until it reaches the fill line. We'll seal it up and set it aside for 15 minutes. And that's had about 15 minutes. I'm going to go ahead and prepare this beverage, and then we'll open up the main item. Again, here's the beverage we're going to prepare. This is the Mincal or something like that. It calls for 200 milliliters of hot water. Oh, I spilled about half of it. That's good. Anyway, there you go. It's kind of a white powder. Kind of looks like dried milk, and it looks like it has seeds, maybe chia seeds. We'll give that a stir with the spoon that comes here. It unfolds and clips together like this. There you go. Kind of has a berry scent to it. We also have one of these things that open up. This is the inner tabs. And again, these kind of look like biscuits that you find in a survival ration. And it comes with 6 of these things individually wrapped. They are kind of difficult to open, so I'm going to use a knife. They're in there pretty tight. So there you go. Kind of a hard compressed puck. And for the main item, this is a soup, so it gets the bumblebee bowl. Let's take a look at this. It's very liquid, has some pieces of fish floating in there. Very strong fishy flavor. I'm going to give it a mix. It's not all going to fit in there, so I'm going to pull some noodles out. Whoa! Tight fit, but that works just fine. This also comes with a flavoring packet. You can see in there, kind of looks like some ginger or garlic. Kind of mix that together. We'll get that into the soup. It does have kind of a salty ginger soy type scent to it. We'll put that in there. Alright, I removed a little bit of the extra liquid there because it was about to spill. Let's give this a mix and we'll try it out. You see some pretty big pieces of fish in there. I'm not sure what that is. Maybe squid? Not sure. We'll see. You can also see the noodles there. It was initially a very fishy scent, but the sauce that I added kind of muted it a little bit. Alright, so let's try this soup. First I'm going to try it with a piece of fish. At least I think that's fish, and then some noodles. There you can see the soup up close. Piece of fish there, and then some noodles. Yeah, that's actually pretty good. Nice salty broth, very savory flavor. The noodles are very mild. You don't really taste much of anything. They may just be rice noodles. But the broth is very savory, very flavorful as well. Very strong fish flavor to the broth there. And there is the other piece of meat there. I think that may be squid or something like that. Yeah, and I think that's right. All the meat pieces have rehydrated very well. This is a little bit more rubbery, which is a texture that I associate with squid. And then the fish, you don't really get a lot of flavor from it that I can tell. It's very light. It's well rehydrated and it breaks apart easily. It's not gummy or rubbery or anything like that. Actually, this soup has a really nice flavor. That's good stuff. Next, the inner tab. Again, this is just kind of a hard compressed biscuit. There you go, kind of looks chalky. And that is a pretty chalky bar there. It has kind of a vanilla, but also kind of a berry flavor to it. It's mildly sweet, but the flavor is not bad at all. Next we have the Mincal or the milk-based beverage, and this looks like a berry, almost like a strawberry milk, and it looks like there's some seeds in there, maybe chia seeds. They kind of have that appearance. Give that a little swirl to make sure it's mixed up. Oh wow, that is strawberry, and I think the seeds are chia seeds. They have kind of that slimy exterior texture. That's really good, actually. It's a pretty good breakfast drink. Yeah, that's good. So first course there, the soup is very good, very, very flavorful, especially with that flavoring package that's added to it. It mutes the fishiness of it and actually adds kind of a savory soy ginger flavor to it. And that's very good. So we'll go ahead and move on to the second course. All right, for the second course, I've chosen the savory fish with rice and then the vitamin mineral beverage. So again, this is the savory fish and rice. Again, this shows 850 calories in this package. So very substantial food item. There's the preparation instructions, just like last time. We'll open it up. This is pretty convenient that it has an inner bag that separates it from the flavoring pouch. And this one looks like there's a little bit more to it in this one. And there's the rice and fish contents. These things are actually very conveniently designed. It has a good bag with a gusseted bottom so it stands up well on its own. So there you go, up close. You can see the instant rice and then the pieces of fish and then some vegetables in there as well. And then there's a soup base powder in there as well. It smells similar to the first course, being a little bit fishy but not quite as strong this time. Again, we'll fill this to the mark. Right about there. Seal it up. And set it aside. And just like the last one, it does call for 15 minutes. And that's about done, so we'll prepare the beverage. And again, this time we're going to prepare the vitamin mineral beverage. This also calls for 200 milliliters of water. We'll try not to spill this one. So there you go. Just a white powder. Doesn't have much scent. And we'll give it a mix with a spoon. And actually, while I was finishing up the first course, I realized that there's another step to this. It actually closes, snaps there, and then it closes together with little pegs. Just like that. And actually makes a pretty sturdy spoon. Let's give that a mix. And for the main item, it's been sitting aside for about 15 minutes and rehydrating. Let's take a look at that. There it is. And the rice looks to be fairly well rehydrated. It's not too soupy in there. It does have a little bit of a fishy scent to it. And there is a lot of it. There's a ton of rice there. Again, it does have this flavoring packet. It looks similar to the first one, if not maybe just a little bit more. Let's see if this one smells the same. It actually smells a little bit sweeter than the first one, but still kind of a ginger scent. Put some of that in there. This thing also came with a spork. It will assemble the same way. We'll give this a mix. And we'll try this out. Get a couple pieces of fish and some of the rice and vegetables. There you go, up close. That sauce just kind of made a nice little glaze on there. That's really good. I kind of expected the rice to be mushy, kind of what you would see with instant rice, but it actually has a pretty good texture and is fairly dense as far as rice goes. It's got a nice savory flavor. The fish, just like in the last dish, the sauce mutes the fishy flavor, and it's actually pretty pleasant. That's actually quite good. Again, the fish is rehydrated very well. It's not gummy or rubbery. It's actually fairly flaky and soft with a very good flavor. So that's that. Next we'll try the vitamin mineral beverage, and it has reconstituted to a bright green color. Kind of a citrus scent to it. Wow. And that's actually really, really sweet. It does have kind of a lemon lime flavor to it, but it is a very sweet beverage. Certainly a lot of sugar to it. And there is a little bit of residue down there, and the residue is kind of chalky, but actually has a really nice flavor. That's pretty good. So that's the second course. I'll finish this up and we'll come back to the third course later on. For the third course, I have chosen the curry rice with meat and the number 3 Menses beverage. We'll find out what that is in just a little bit. And this package, very similar to the other ones, calls for that amount of water and 15 minutes of rehydration time. So we'll get that started. And there is the rice and chicken. There is the rice and beef curry. I think that's beef. I'm assuming that's beef. And another flavoring package, and these seem to be pretty similar between the 3 meals. And just like the other ones, we'll open this one up and pour it into the main bag. It looks like there's some maybe potatoes in there also. That looks good. You can smell a pretty strong curry scent to it. There's a lot of rice in this ration, and after eating that last entree, it's very, very filling. And I've actually spaced this shoot out over the span of 2 days because of the amount of food in here and the amount of calories. I typically do eat most of the food that's in this, and I kind of space it out through the course of the day, and those are my meals for the day. Try not to waste the food. And again, we'll fill this to the line and seal it up and set it aside for a little bit. Kind of give it a little bit of a mix and a shake. We'll set that aside. Up next is the beverage, and this is the Menses beverage, and it calls for 200 milliliters of water. There's a type 3 and a type 4 in this package. We'll find out what the differences are. Oh, it looks like a cocoa powder. There's an interesting scent to it. Almost like there's coffee in it as well. Or it may just be a coffee powder. We'll find out. It looks like cocoa, honestly. Calls for 200 milliliters of water. Give that a stir. There's that. It's still hard to tell what that smells like. That ought to be interesting to taste. Okay, so we've given this a little bit of time, and let's get this out onto the tray. So again, this is the curry rice with meat, and I'm assuming that's beef. It looks like beef in there. That has a really nice scent. Just a strong curry scent. You can actually smell some meatiness to it, so that's encouraging. It looks like it has some little potato wafers in there also, yep. And a lot of rice, just like that last meal. Just tons and tons of rice, very filling. Very calorie dense food items as well. Again, this is 850 calories in this. So we'll try to get a little bit of everything. There you can see the rice and the curry sauce and the pieces of beef right there. Looks pretty good. Oh yeah, that's really good. Now this sauce, I don't know how well that would complement. It's kind of an oily ginger, soy, kind of spicy sauce. I don't know how well that would go with this curry dish, so I'm just gonna save that for later use. This is actually a really good dish. It's somewhat spicy actually. It has a really good curry flavor. The beef is well reconstituted, has a good texture. And again, for freeze-dried instant rice, this actually has a really good texture and consistency. It's not gummy or soggy at all. It's actually very good. This is another exceptional freeze-dried dish. Very well done. Next we have this beverage, and this is the Type 3 Menses beverage. And it kind of looks like cocoa, but it has kind of an odd scent to it. Can't really put my finger on the scent. I don't really smell chocolate in there. Maybe kind of like coffee. We'll see. It's really interesting. It's unlike anything I've ever tasted before. It tastes like, it kind of tastes like a mocha, but it also has kind of a pepper flavor to it as well. It's really interesting. It's not bad at all. It's mildly sweet, milky, creamy. Like I said, it's kind of got a mild coffee flavor to it. But other than that, it's just really different. But pretty good. So that was the third course, and we will finish up with the fourth course in just a little bit. Alright, and for the final course I've chosen the Nasi Hudak with chicken, and I think this is rice with that coconut sauce. And then the Type 4 of the Menses beverage. We'll see how that differs from the last one. Alright, so for the Nasi Hudak, this is supposed to be a coconut cream sauce with rice and chicken. So let's get this opened up, just like the other ones previous. Again, it comes with a seasoning package. You can see the soup base, or the coconut cream base there, and some pieces of freeze-dried chicken and a bunch of rice. Get this one opened up and then poured into the outer bag. We'll get the water in there to the fill mark. Get it sealed up. This one doesn't have much scent at all. Give it a little shake. Set that aside. And for the drink, again, this is the Menses beverage. And this is the number 4. So this one should be different than the number 3 that we just tried a little while ago. And we'll see what the difference is. Let's get this opened up. So the powder looks similar. It may be a little bit lighter in color, but it kind of looks like a cocoa beverage. But it smells about the same. Again, calls for 200 milliliters of water. Give that a stir. We'll set that aside. Now this has been sitting around for about 15 minutes. And this one feels a little bit more soupy than the other ones did. You can see there's a lot more liquid in it than the previous items. But let's get it out. So there you go. It is a really thin, milky liquid there. The rice looks to have reconstituted very well. Let's get that onto the tray. There you go. Looks pretty good. Pieces of chicken there. Kind of a thin, creamy sauce there. Kind of a sweet scent to it. And we'll try this without that sauce first. Let's get some of the rice and some of the chicken and some of that sauce too. So there you go. Up close. So despite the scent, it actually kind of had a little bit of a sweet scent to it. And that may just be the coconut that I'm picking up, but you don't actually taste the coconut very much. It's actually just kind of a salty liquid. That being said, it is quite tasty, and the chicken is actually not bland. It actually has a good flavor to it. All the meat is rehydrated very well, and again, the rice is done very well. But I think I will add this stuff to this item. try to make it a little bit spicier. And I think adding this sauce to this item will actually make it a little bit more savory rather than just salty. There you go. Yeah, actually, that helps a lot. You do get a little bit of that ginger flavor. It actually adds a little bit more sweetness to it, and you can pick out the coconut a little bit more after you add that sauce. So that's actually remarkable how much it changes the flavor. That sauce is awesome. So this was after adding that sauce. This is a very good dish. Yeah, that's quite tasty. Now the beverage. Again, this is the Minsus Type 4, and I'm going to give it a little bit of a mix. Let's see how much different this is than the number 3 that we tried in the last meal. And it has a very similar scent to it. It's more like just kind of a creamy coffee scent than anything. It looks like cocoa. It's actually a little bit lighter than the last one, if anything. And actually the flavor of that is completely different. This one's spicy. It's actually quite spicy, and it really just tastes like a sweet coffee or really mild cocoa, or both. It could be like a mocha type drink, but this one is actually a lot spicier than the last one. It's got kind of a strong pepper flavor. That's really interesting. It's just unlike anything I've ever tasted before. Very interesting flavor. So that was it for the 4 meals in the Indonesian 24-hour freeze-dried ration pack, the T2-PJ. And this was an absolute delight to go through. Freeze-dried items are my favorite items in rations, and this is no exception. These food items were absolutely fantastic. They rehydrate very well, and the flavor is exceptional, so especially when you add the sauce packages. So thank you to all the viewers and subscribers on YouTube. Thank you very much for your support, and your support benefits St. Jude Children's Research Hospital, so I appreciate it very, very much. To all the YouTube ration review community and the folks on MREinfo.com, thank you very, very much for your continued support. You guys are fantastic. So please stay tuned. I have a whole lot more stuff to come, and until next time, we'll see you later. Bye-bye.